imagine having the full control of your vehicle, but choosing not to use it. Well, I think that's what we all do, both in aviation and in business at times. And I'm guilty of it, and in fact, it's really the third mistake that I made when I started my company, is I found myself in rolls, loops, whatever it might be, and I wasn't using full control to actually get myself out of it. And I'll tell you a story real quick about that. So our operations manager, the first one I hired after I started the company, walked into my office one day, and she said, "Jim, we need to talk," because I'd been delegating things to her, and I call it the impossible task. I kept giving her assignments to deal with variables that, frankly, she just couldn't control, and whether it was client expectations, money, time, hours, whatever it was. She came into my office and she said, "Jim, I'm doing my best for you, but ultimately you're the one with your hand on the controls, and you're not exercising full control, of the business." And so for the first time, what she was saying really sunk into my head, and I realized I'm going to be all alone, and she's not going to stick around if I don't take full control of these variables and delegate to her what she can do, and take full responsibility for the outcome myself. And in order to do that, I had to realize that I had a lot more control than I thought I had, and it's the same thing I teach students when we're in the airplane, which is a student will come close to crashing the airplane or losing control without even using the full control authority. They don't move the stick all the way that they can. And I think a lot of times the reason why is because they're actually afraid of the control that they really have. They're afraid to see what they can actually do in the airplane or in the business. So this sounds like the opposite of what I was saying in my last, my second mistake that I made in the company where I needed a coach and all that, but it's not. You still maintain full control of the airplane when you have an instructor or a coach on board. You're using the full authority of the business and doing what you need to do. And in my case, it really helped me to have her walk into my office and say that. And later on, I read a book called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and another Navy SEAL that were fighting over in, I think it was Iraq. And that book talks about really intense ways to maintain, to gain and maintain control of your business. And I highly recommend it because you want to be able to use absolutely everything that you have in the cockpit, so to speak, to your full disposal. Hope that's an encouragement. Again, as always, feel free to comment and I'll get back to you.